Hello, and welcome to this general astrological overview for the day of March 23rd, 2022. So, today the moon continues her journey through optimistic, enthusiastic Sagittarius and forms a trine to wounded healer Chiron and simultaneously a sextile to Mars, which is still itself fairly closely sextile to Chiron. So, there's something here about the healing of wounds and a breakthrough and healing that is connected with our motivation or action or even desire, perhaps anger or aggression. And I especially want to say desire and creativity with Mars and Venus still being fairly closely conjunct. And of course, the moon will move into a sextile with Venus as well later in the day. So, like a smooth breakthrough in some inner healing or transformation that links in with our actions or our motivations in some way. So this is some very sort of visionary, uplifting, and also moving energy, I would say. Now, as the day goes on, you can see that sextile from the moon to Venus also forming, which is supportive of that more passionate side to the energy we just went over. But we also have, let's back up just a little bit here. We have the Mercury-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. And so we just had Mercury-Jupiter literally the other day. Jupiter and Neptune now very close. Well, today Mercury perfectly conjoins Neptune in Pisces. And so I think this is going to be in many ways like the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction, but even more spaced out, even more out there and nebulous, and expanding one's mind so far that one's mind just kind of becomes one with all things. So Mercury and Neptune can be very confusing. Neptune is like the antithesis of all that Mercury is in so many ways. Mercury likes that specific data and focus, and Neptune wants to diffuse all focus and just be one with all things. And so it's not really the best day for thinking logically or clearly per se, but it is, on the other hand, really great for creative thinking and for expansive thinking, for thinking about spirituality or anything that is non-physical or mysterious. It's a great day for looking into a mystery, but not necessarily solving it. So potentially confusing, but on the other hand, potentially very mind expanding energy. So if you can put your efforts into that type of right-brained thinking today, as Mercury is about as fully immersed into the sea of Piscean energy as it's going to get in its journey through Pisces this time around. So, in addition to that, as we go a little further into the day and get more into the evening, you can see that moon sextile to Venus perfecting soon after 7 p.m. Again, the support for the passionate side of things, our creativity, all of that inner shifting that we talked about earlier. But also, the moon moves into a late night square with Jupiter. And, well, for some people, depending on where you are, this may take place on the 23rd or the 24th. But regardless, we'll feel this building up more and more into the evening. And so the moon square Jupiter can be, it can be a little stressful. It can often be an indicator of something that feels like a little too much. And I think that's probably how we'll likely experience it, or most of us will experience it, just given the general energy being what it is right now. The other planetary placements, like there's a lot happening in Pisces today with the Mercury-Neptune. We're just coming off of the perfecting of the Mars-Uranus square yesterday. I think that with the moon square Jupiter, and really not too far from squaring Neptune and Mercury here as well, there's a sense of overwhelmment. There's a sense of too much expansion or more expansion than what we're necessarily ready for, or growth that is stressful, perhaps. And so I guess our challenge this day will be to manage that expansion and try not to allow our minds to go too far out into the spacious, nebulous realms, and or try not to grow or expand into new areas too fast, but to instead try to temper that so that we can still maintain our enthusiasm and joyful sense of adventure without things getting too out there. So that is about it for March 23rd. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderfully mind-expanding day.